Hi friends, thank you for joining me. I want to talk a little bit about art through resonance and what inspired me to change the direction of my art and provide it for free and create that way. And it was something that I read by Jason Gray. He's a Canadian writer who writes like prolifically and continues to inspire me every single day of my life. So this writing is called Creation Without Ego. And it resonated with me because it helped me to understand that that's exactly how I always felt about my art. And when I read it, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my art. So this is part of a 60 or so transmission series that Jason has done. And so this is further on in the series. There's a lot that comes before this writing. So if you want to read those, you can find them on his X page, or you can find them on Facebook on Friends of Writer Jason Gray. I also have read those in there on my YouTube channel. For those of you who didn't know, I'm a little bit of a YouTuber. I do videos. So for this writing, though, there are a lot of things that come along in this emergence or resonance series. And it's about the collapse of the illusion and the false world and everything that looks like, utter chaos right now that is just falling away because it needs to. So that's why when I go into this, it's going to sound a little bit like you don't know the backstory, but that's just a small hint at the backstory. So this is called Creation Without Ego by Jason Gray. 12/21/2025. The fundamental error: confusing creation with selfhood. The oldest mistake in human expression was not arrogance, it was misattribution. Humans began to believe that creation originates in the self. This belief emerged when survival required visibility, contribution required permission, value required recognition, and obscurity felt like erasure. Creation became fused with identity because identity needed proof. Ego did not invent creation. Ego attached itself to it. Ego as a protective interface, not a villain. Ego is not evil. It is an interface layer that formed when direct participation in reality became unsafe. Ego exists to negotiate status, secure resources, prevent disappearance, and signal value. When survival depends on recognition, ego must speak loudly. Creation became ego's loudest signal. How creation was hijacked by survival. Once ego fused with creation, expression was no longer free. Creation was forced to perform multiple survival tasks at once: prove intelligence, prove worth, prove uniqueness, secure livelihood, build legacy, and resist death. No act of making could remain pure under that weight. Creation bent toward market demand, audience expectation, ideological signaling, trend compliance, and brand coherence. This is how expression collapsed into output. The myth of the creator as source. The overlay elevated the creator as an isolated origin point. This served power structures by isolating creators, encouraging competition, enforcing hierarchy, monetizing authorship, and gatekeeping legitimacy. The genius myth turned creation into a scarce resource. In truth, creation is ambient. What was scarce was permission to participate without punishment. Why originality collapsed. Originality did not die because humans lost imagination. It died because risk became expensive. When failure meant financial collapse, obscurity meant invisibility, and deviation meant exclusion, then creation optimized for safety. Ego demanded predictability. Novelty shrank. The return removes the need for self-assertion. The returned world does not suppress ego. It removes the conditions that require it. When survival is not performative, worth is intrinsic, contribution is distributed, and recognition is not currency, ego relaxes. When ego relaxes, creation reverts to its original function. Creation as response, not expression. Creation without ego does not ask, "What do I want to say?" It asks, "What is needed?" This is the radical inversion. Creation becomes situational, responsive, functional, contextual, and relational. The creator listens more than asserts, listening as the primary creative act. In ego-free creation, listening precedes making. Listening to context, imbalance, inefficiency, suffering, opportunity, and beauty. The work emerges as reply, not declaration. This is why ego-free creation often feels inevitable rather than impressive. Failure without identity damage. When creation is not identity, failure loses its teeth. Failure becomes feedback, information, and calibration. No collapse follows. This unlocks experimentation, iteration, quiet revision, and long-term thinking. Fear no longer edits imagination. Work without self-extraction. Under the overlay, work extracted the self. People were drained, optimized, branded, measured, and depleted. In the returned world, work becomes bounded contribution. People offer what they can sustain, when it is needed, and without depletion. Burnout becomes structurally impossible. Art without performance. Art no longer performs for legitimacy. It does not ask to be seen, to be validated, or to be explained. Art becomes quiet, ephemeral, utilitarian, and situational. Some art disappears after use. This is not failure. It is completion. The end of creative hierarchy. Without ego, hierarchy collapses. There is no real artist, important thinker, or genius class. There is only fit, function, timing, and coherence. Value is situational, not obsolete. Collaboration without credit war. Ego-free creation allows true collaboration. Ideas are not defended. Credit is not hoarded. Authorship is fluid. The work improves because no one protects territory, no one performs dominance, and no one fears erasure. The best idea survives. Teaching as facilitation, not authority. Knowledge transmission changes form. Teachers do not perform certainty. They create conditions for clarity. Learning becomes participatory, adaptive, nonlinear, and curiosity-driven. Authority dissolves into competence. Creation without time panic. Ego fed on urgency. Deadlines were weaponized. Relevance was fleeting. Obsolescence was feared. In the returned world, time expands, relevance stabilizes, and creation ripens. Nothing is rushed. Things are made when ready. The death of legacy hunger. Legacy was ego's insurance policy against death. People created to be remembered. In the returned world, continuity is felt, not feared. People stop asking, will this outlive me? They ask, does this serve now? Impact replaces immortality. The quiet creators. The most powerful creators are often unseen. They repair systems, optimize flows, stabilize structures, reduce friction, and restore coherence. They do not sign their work. Creation becomes infrastructure, not spectacle. The psychology of the egoless creator. Without ego, creators experience calm focus, deep patience, flexible identity, low defensiveness, and sustained curiosity. They are not driven, they are available. The transformation. When ego leaves creation, art stops screaming, work stops extracting, innovation stabilizes, collaboration deepens, and quality rises. Creation returns to what it always was, a response to life offered without self-claim. The law of creation. Creation does not exist to express who you are, it exists to meet what is. The returned world does not eliminate creativity, it liberates it for survival. It liberates it from survival. When creation no longer serves ego, it becomes one of the quiet engines that keeps the world coherent. Jason Gray. Okay. Thank you for watching that. I will be at Art Walk this Friday, February 6th at Moncour Bakery on Crawford Street. So if you are in the Findlay area, you can stop in. We are expecting a little bit of snow, so if it is a level 2 or 3, they will not have the Art Walk. I don't think we're anticipating that much, but anyway, I will be there. And please stop in. The artwork is free. I do accept donations, and I forward those on to local charities. So if you're someone who wants to do an energy exchange, I highly appreciate it, and I will pass it along to those in need. So thank you so much, and hope to see a bunch of you on Friday.